Baud rate is the measure of how fast data is being transmitted over a communication channel. So this is usually symbols per second. So let's say we have a data that we want to transmit from another device to another device. So let's say we have this data. So I'm going to start from the right hand side with the least significant bit. So let's say I have the bit 1. So let me do this. So I have this bit 1, and then I have the second bit, which is 0, the third bit, which is 0 again, and then I have 1, and then I have 0, and then I have 1, 1. So this is the data that we want to transmit from the transmitter to the receiver. So let's use an example let's use UART. So to do this, we're gonna have this signal coming from the transmitter TX. So the start bit will be 0. So the start bit is always 0. So we're gonna have the start bit, which is 0. And now we're gonna start transmitting the data. So we're gonna transmit this data from this side, starting with the least significant bit. So the first bit is 1. So we're gonna go up, and then we have 1. And then the second bit is 0. We go down, and then we have 0. The third bit is also 0. So we're gonna stay down, and then that is 0. And then the fourth bit is 1. We go up, just like that. And then the fifth bit is 0. We go down, and then the sixth bit is 1. We go up. The seventh bit is 1 as well. So we're going to have this 1 and the seventh bit 1. So after transmitting this data, we are going to have an end bit. So an end bit is 1. So remember, the start bit was 0. So now the end bit is going to be 1, just like that. So this will be the receiver. So let me write this down. So this is the start bit, which is 0. So we're going to have 0 there. So this is the start. And then we're going to have that bit, the first bit 1. And then we're going to have the second two zeros, 0, 0, and then we have a 1, and then we have a 0, and then we have the last two ones. And then the ending bit is 1 right there. So baud rate is how fast data is being transmitted. So now how can we determine the baud rate using this diagram? So we have this, so remember, this is the start bit. So I'm not going to focus on that one. So I'll be focusing on the distance between these intervals right here. So let's say this bit is transmitted over 1 second. So for every 1 second, a bit is being transmitted. So 1 is transmitted over 1 second. So the baud rate here will be, so let's say baud rate. So the baud rate will be 1 baud per second, because this bit is transmitted over 1 second. So let's say now the time interval between these edges right here is 10 microseconds. Now what will be the baud rate? So the baud rate will be, let's say baud rate is equal to 1 divided that by 10 times 10 to the power of -6. And then the baud rate will be 100,000 baud per second. So which means now this whole data right here is being transmitted within a second, and we can also have like more data after this ending bit right here. We can still have another data right here, and it will still be transmitted since the baud rate is 100,000 bauds per second. So a baud can be this distance right here, this time interval right here. So let's say now the baud rate is the baud is 7.81 microsecond. So to find the baud rate, we're gonna say 1 over 7.81, multiply that by 10 to the power of -6, and then put that into your calculator, and it will give you something like 128 and 40 bauds per second.